Karina baby, our next book title is It's Not Fair. Karina baby, life, it's not fair. It's never going to be fair. Never become envious or jealous of somebody else's life. You're never going to understand somebody else's life completely. And so you can't be envious of somebody else's life. You're never going to understand someone else's situations completely. So you're never going to be able to be jealous of somebody else, right? Be who you are. Want to be who you are. You're physically very gorgeous. You are very blessed. You have 2 pretty parents. According to me, your father is very handsome. Mama is very blessed in the same way. I have 2 very pretty parents. I turned out to be physically very pretty, but where it matters is the heart. The heart will make or break you. You are physically very gorgeous, but your heart is absolutely gorgeous as well. That's where it makes you. You're a beautiful, beautiful little girl, and you're going to grow up to be a beautiful young lady and a beautiful woman. You are very, very blessed. Let's do It's Not Fair. One day, Katie's little brother, George, wasn't well. Mama Perkins put him in bed and took his temperature. Papa Perkins brought him a soothing drink. At bedtime, Katie read him a story. The next morning, Katie had to get up early to go to school. Mama took George his breakfast in bed. Katie had to get her own breakfast. When she came home from school, Granny Perkins was there. She had brought George a get-well present. It's not fair, said Katie. After her snack, Katie had practice her lines for the school play while George sat up and watched television. It's not fair, she said. I wish I was ill. That's just silly, said Ma. A week later, George was better, but Katie wasn't well. Ma put her to bed and took her temperature. Pa brought her a soothing drink and read her a story. George gave her a blanket to cuddle, and the next day she couldn't go to school. Ma brought her breakfast in bed. Pa took George to preschool. Granny Perkins came to visit and brought Katie a present. It was a long day, and Katie was bored. She missed her friends. She missed the dress rehearsal for the school play. It's not fair, she said. Soon Katie was well again. Mrs. Tabby, the teacher, all Katie's friends were very pleased to see her back at school. We were worried you would miss the play, they said. Now that wouldn't be fair, would it? Okay, so Katie thought that it wasn't fair because she was envious of George getting to stay in bed. He got a story read to him by Katie. He got a present by Granny. He got Mama and Papa a special attention, right? And all of a sudden George was better, but Katie got George's cold, right? And then she's in bed and she got special attention. She got a book read to her and she got a present from Granny and a soothing drink from Papa, and she got everything that Georgie got, right? But she thought it wasn't fair that she got sick either. Sometimes life just doesn't feel fair, right? It doesn't feel fair. And then she got to go back to school with her friends and go and do the play. Sometimes there's no situation in life that does feel fair. It feels completely unfair a lot of the time. But what do? We keep moving forward, right? It was okay that Georgie got sick and that George was in bed and that George got a story read to him. That's George's situation. She shouldn't have looked at that and been like, oh, that's not fair. That's her brother's situation. That's not her situation. And then all of a sudden she got sick and she got all the things that George got. And she still thought it wasn't fair, right? She has to be more blessed and more, this is my life. This is what I get to do, and less focused on what somebody else gets to do, right? That's like somebody getting a water station and a big blow-up castle for their birthday and lots of gifts, and then maybe you got, to go and see a play or to go to a pool for the day. Maybe you didn't have a bunch of friends over or get a bunch of gifts or have a big bouncy castle, but you got what you got and your friend got what she got, right? And that's okay. It's okay not to have what somebody else has. It's okay not to get what somebody else gets. Most times in life, you're not going to get what your friend gets. You're not going to get what a brother gets or a sister gets or a cousin gets or what somebody else. You're going to get what you get. And you have to look at that and be grateful for every last thing that you get, because you get amazing things too. It just might not be the same as somebody else, right? Some families make a whole bunch of money and they could do big lavish vacations, or they live off of credit cards and they could do big lavish vacations for them and their kids. They go to the beaches and they go to the patios and they go to the water parks and they go indoor skydiving and they go outdoor skydiving and they go lots of places, and maybe we'll go camping and we'll go to a movie and we'll go someplace that we go, right? They go someplace they go, we go someplace we go. And it's none of it's not fair. It's all fair, right? Everyone has a different situation and circumstance in life, but you have to look at your own situation and be like, wow, I got to do this, right? Mama used to take you everywhere. And not everyone, when they were younger, have that experience. You got to go to the magic shows. You got to go to the parks. You got to go to the movies in the park. You got to go to story times. You got to go on play dates. You got to go anywhere that we had set up already. You got to go to the splash pad when you wanted to go to the splash pad. Mama always had the car set up that you were ready to go places. Like, you got to do so many things, and you got to do them with mama. And not so many kids have that experience because their mamas are outside the home working and not there able to be there for their babies. Like, you had your experience and they had their experience. And, but a lot of times mamas don't get taken away from their babies when they're so young. So they had their experience, we had our experience, we're going to get better experiences. It's going to be okay. It's not that it's not fair, it's just different for everybody, right? Every situation is different for everybody. You can look at it and be like, oh, that's not fair. But life isn't going to be fair. It's going to be different for everybody. And you have to take it, roll with it, and just keep moving forward. Because if you get stuck and wallow, you lose out on time. Time is never going to stop. Even if you get stuck in time for a little bit, that's okay. Be stuck in that time for a little bit. Pray about it. Cry about it. Rejoice it. Whatever it is that you're feeling about it, and then move forward. Time isn't going to stand still. It doesn't stand still for anybody. You don't want to have life be so unfair that you miss out on all of it. Okay? You got to keep moving forward. Karina, baby, I love you so incredibly much, and there's so much I want to teach you. Mainly, be kind to yourself and kind to others. This life is so short. On the time scale, it's so short. So there's no reason not to be kind and loving and caring towards yourself and others, and to be grateful and considerate. Let's do We sit and watch the rain as it falls from the sky, and we are glad to be inside where it is warm and dry. Oh yes, I do love the rain. It keeps the earth so clean and helps the pretty flowers grow from the mountains to the streams. I love you and I miss you and I can't wait to see you.